Go get an IUD. Let me wipe your tears. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
If you believe that you need to leave the United States quickly, I understand. Trust your instincts.
It is what it is. Like, it is what it is. They're all going to move on. Black women in America are talking about the next move. Everybody is like, what's going to happen? Are we all going to continue the 4B movement? Well, we have to actually take this 4B movement seriously. See, now that Trump has entered, like he's now the president, a lot of people are not happy with it. But then a lot of people voted for him. So why do I feel like I knew what's going to win? It's not because I wanted him to win or anything. I just feel he was going to win because I don't think they will want to allow a woman to be a president. I think they will want to allow a woman to be president, United States. I don't think so. They won't let it happen. So women are coming out to say that this is a time to take the 4B movement very seriously. If at this stage you don't know what 4B movement is, you need to be flogged because this is the only movement that can save women in this period. This is the only movement that will allow women to stand out and be able to make decisions for themselves. Because the way things are now, women can't make decisions for themselves at all, right? And it's like things are actually going to get worse for we women, especially we women. Right? So the earlier you join the 4B movement, the better for you. A lot of women are given advices on the next step because now it has happened. What is the next step? What are we going to do? What should we do? Like, that is what we're supposed to be talking about, not crying and feeling bad about it. Let me show you all these videos and I'll be back to share my thoughts at the end of the video.
Go get an IUD. Find a women's clinic near you and go get an IUD this week. And if you have an IUD and it expires within the next, realistically, 5 or 6 years, go get it replaced. I think I still have like 6 years left on mine. I'm gonna go get it replaced just to be safe. They last like 12 years. Second of all, stock up on mifepristone. Have that in your cabinet. Shelf life is 5 years. That's an abortion pill. No matter what state you live in, you can get abortion pills by mail at aidaccess.org. Make sure that in the next couple of weeks, you have mifepristone in your cabinet. Not just for you, but for the women around you. Third of all, delete Twitter. It has been an insufferable place to be for a long time, and it is only going to get so much worse. Get it off your phone. Get it off your phone. Do these things now, while you still can. I cannot stress how important this is. I am shocked and appalled that this is what we voted for, but Roe v. Wade isn't coming back anytime soon.
Let me wipe your tears. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Give yourself some time to decompress. And once you give yourself that time, it's time to lock the fuck in. It is officially Operation 4B. It is officially grind time. Girl boss, get the money up. It is officially not giving men emotional labor, domestic labor, caring about their feelings, caring about their thoughts, caring about their opinions. The best thing about this happening is that as women, we are forced to find community within one another and use our own devices to have us get ahead. Because see what happens when you let men lead? See what happens when you allow men to make decisions for you? They're going to lead you off of a fucking cliff. They are not to be trusted. They are not to be able to be given the tools on what to do with your body, with your life, with your future. It is time for women to take back the power that has so rightfully been theirs, that has been taken from women and has been retold as his story when it has always been her story. It is time for women to remind men how powerful our presence really is. These men, little do they know, quiet as it's kept, they're about to go fucking crazy. And they don't even realize it. They don't even realize what they're asking for. They don't even understand what they just signed up for. Get you a pew pew, get you a taser, get you some mace. And every time you see a man, walk past them like they don't fucking exist. Do not acknowledge them. Do not look at them. Do not laugh at their jokes. Do not smile at them. Do not give them any attention. Do not even give them any attention on your social media. Do not give them any perks of the feminine. Zero, zilch. They want to control your body. You're going to control your body first. You're going to stop sleeping with these dudes. You're going to stop tolerating these dudes. It's time. It is time. Stack your money to the ceiling. That career that you wanted to start, you wanted to go back to school, that business that you wanted to open, you need to do it now. This is the perfect time to do it because you're no longer going to have men in your orbit to distract you, to throw you off your rocker, to lower your self-esteem, to take your time away where it can be spent on other things that involve you improving yourself and building your life and giving yourself soft life. We are no longer in a time where we can rely on men to make decisions that can try to protect and provide for you. Protecting and providing, this is what they consider protecting and providing. They are not protecting you. They do not give two shits about you. They do not care. These men and many women literally voted so that way they could literally not care about like you dying out. No one is ever going to save you unless you choose to save yourself. At the end of the day, you are an individual woman. You cannot rely on the government to take care of you, to make decisions for you. You have to do it yourself, and you have to find other women who are on the same accord as you. The government does not want you to have community, which is why they want you so heavily to rely on who is voted on in office. Build community with other women and get your life together. If this decision has not turned you off from men even more, I don't know what it's going to take for you to have any more convincing for you to not want to deal with them. Because this should honestly be top level ick. Like, this should honestly be top level turn off. This is also something women should have been expecting. Donald Trump has only been able to be elected twice because he went up against two women. He went up against a woman each time. That says a lot. Men would literally rather take orders from a man who is a rapist, who is a felon, who has had multiple failed businesses. They rather listen to a man who has a whole entire track record than to ever let you lead. Trump literally won by default, which I already knew was going to happen. He literally won by default because he went up against a woman. He's not that powerful because he couldn't even win up against another man. Do not let someone who can only have power if he is in competition with a woman make you feel any type of way, because you have the power. You have the power on an individualistic level as a woman to figure out how you are going to let the trajectory of your life going to go. You just have to accept the fact that the trajectory of your life is not going to go in the way that you thought it was going to go, because you're going to have to figure out how to make it go the way you want it to go without a man. And that is a blessing. Love you.
If you believe that you need to leave the United States quickly, I understand. Trust your instincts. I left the United States in 2021. I left in a desperate emotional, physical space. I knew I had to get out quickly. I was able to get everything together and exit in less than 60 days. Now, some of the things that I did, I wouldn't recommend for some, but I've learned from those situations. I am just now waking up. I'm currently in Tbilisi, Georgia, seeing the results. And depending on which side you're aligned with, they seem concerning. Either way, it is time for you to get a plan together. Whether you ultimately decide to leave or you ultimately decide to stay, the one thing you can't wait to do is put together a plan. Folks, leaving the United States is not a situation where you just pack a bag and you print a checklist. That's not how this works, y'all. This is not planning a birthday party. You are considering leaving everything you know to go into spaces where you know nothing about and you know no one. You need a plan that's going to help you get out. You don't have to have all the answers right now, y'all. You need to be able to get out. But the most important thing about leaving the United States, especially under a sense of urgency and arrest, is you need to make sure that you are in a safe space getting guidance on a plan from someone who can help you deal with the emotional fallout and mental anguish that you are dealing with. Folks, you do not want to get on a plane and not have those things addressed. I can tell you from my personal experience, I can tell you from the people who have attended my actual class and the people that I helped leave the United States successfully. The emotional part is not to be underestimated. So my recommendation to you, if you are seriously looking to leave the United States, you need to join one of the 4 classes that I'm offering starting Saturday. The feedback has been amazing. I'll also be hopping on live as well to answer any questions that you have. But the best way for you to get into my class is you want to go to my profile. There is an LINK. TT is sensitive. When you go there, there's a wait list and information that you need to complete because I need to know you're serious. I don't have time for scammers. I don't play any games. I'm only interested in helping the people who feel they need to get out. So once you complete that wait list, I go through, I screen it, make sure there's no foolishness. You get an invitation to my class based on availability. Listen, if my classes, these 4 classes fill up, I will offer more. I understand, again, what it's like to have to leave the United States feeling under duress, feeling a sense of stress, feeling like if you don't get out, you could be in danger. That's exactly how I was when I left in 2021. I understand this is not a game, folks, and it's important that you trust your instincts. Even if you're not totally sure, what you know you need is a plan. You don't want to wait until you're complete desperation trying to get out. You have a responsibility to at least have a plan in hand and an organized mental state where you can make some sound decisions. Okay? So there are your options. Again, I'm probably going to be on live. It's 11 a.m. here. I'm actually just waking up to see what's going on, but I can relate, folks, and it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
I just got off of a 2.5-hour phone call with my cousin, with my male cousin, and we talked about Trump's abortion ban and how that will affect the women in his life, i.e. me, his mom, his sister, my sister. And it was a great conversation, but there was something very glaringly obvious that I don't think people understand when they're having these conversations. And I emphasize that with him. And I want to say it here. I don't want to say it without crying. But I want to say it because I want people to understand. There is a definition of abortion as we laymen, everyday people have an understanding of. But your medical insurance, your insurance coding, medical coding, they have a definition of abortion. And it's really anything that does not result in a live birth. Anything. So you as a woman, as a mom, as a father, you experience a miscarriage, and for you, it's classified as a miscarriage. But medically, when it comes down to how your insurance views it, how the medical field views it, it is an abortion. It is a termination of a pregnancy, voluntary or involuntary. It is something that does not result in a live birth. And because of that, in my situation, which is what I was explaining to my cousin, this was a wonderful conversation, and it was a beautiful conversation. I'm glad we had a chance to have it. But in my situation, I've had 3 pregnancy losses, 2 stillbirths, and with my son Bronco in particular, I gave birth to him, and he was not alive. He died in my womb, and I gave birth to him. That is considered still an abortion because it did not result in a live pregnancy. I did not walk into a clinic or a doctor's office and say, terminate my child at 8 months, 7 months. I didn't do that. So the first time after I got out of labor and got home and was going through all like my medical paperwork, the first time I saw the word abortion on our insurance paperwork,
It was a hard thing to see, to read, and to understand. In fact, I called the insurance company in shambles, telling them that they made a mistake, that I did not have an abortion, that I delivered my son, and I have a record of him. And it was not something that I chose, and it was not something that I did because I didn't want him. I carried him and gave birth to him. And so to see the word abortion was, I didn't know how to handle it. Sorry, I did not want to cry. But since then, since that moment, I've researched it and I figured out that this is just the medical and insurance and legal definitions of miscarriages and what an abortion is and late-term miscarriages. That the words that we refer to are not the words that the medical field refers to it in the same kind of way. So what I explained to him is that there are women who have had miscarriages, but do not understand that on their paperwork, in their insurance, in the coding, they have had abortions. And they may not even know. They may not even see that paperwork, or they have, and they felt the same thing I felt, which I felt a lot of shame just seeing that word. And it took a lot for me to take away that shame and recognize that my experience, I shouldn't carry shame for it. So, but that was like, it's a whole other thing when you have a miscarriage, like shame is a big part of it. But I said all of that to him, and I'm saying all this to you because the reason why doctors, from what I'm understanding and what I believe, is that the reason why in states that have an abortion ban, doctors are not helping these women who are having miscarriages, who need care after a miscarriage, because medically, the coding, according to the insurance, according to what they have to put on the paperwork, is an abortion, and it is considered abortion care. So you having a miscarriage at 3 months, you having a miscarriage at 6 months, you having a late term miscarriage in your pregnancy is already devastating emotionally. But these doctors are afraid to help women because even though we're calling it a miscarriage, moms, even though we are calling it a miscarriage, they are referring to it as an abortion. And so you're banning miscarriages because you don't understand that miscarriages are considered abortions. And this should go without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. Whether a woman chooses to have an abortion in the traditional understood sense of what an abortion is, or if they have a spontaneous abortion, which I believe is what miscarriages are classified as, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. I should be able to say how my body is cared for, what's best for me and my body. I should be able to decide that. And whatever that decision is, I should be able to receive the care that I am needed, that is needed for my situation.
As I said earlier, it is what it is. And yeah, there's actually nothing we can do. I agree with the 4B movement that's in now. I know it has started. I know a lot of people have started it. I know a lot of people have even advanced to the 5B and 6B. In fact, there is 7B. There is 7B. I saw a video about 7B movements now. I agree, because a lot of video about women that almost got unalived because of miscarriages, and when they went to the hospital, they did nothing because of their abortion law. I saw a video of a man that shared about his wife. He was like, she was okay, and all of a sudden she started bleeding. They went to the hospital. They gave her a particular drug to, take out the remaining of the baby. It didn't work, but then she was still in pain. They went back to the hospital and they were like, they cannot do D&C because it's illegal. They went back home. They came back. They gave them the drug again that did not work. And later on started passing out big clots of blood, and she was unconscious in the bathroom. The guy said that's the husband. It was like, if he wasn't around at that time, his wife would have passed out, like unalive. if it wasn't around. So because it was around, he rushed her to the hospital. And because he rushed her to the hospital and they saw that it was already an emergency, they helped immediately to do the normal thing that they would have done in the first place. All because it is illegal and people don't want to. Doctors are following the law. This is the time not to even trust anybody. See, I just feel like if you want to avoid being pregnant and having miscarriage, because you even want to keep the baby and the baby, miscarriage can happen to anybody. You cannot even get the proper treatment because it's illegal. Like, it's illegal. Thing is, when you're pregnant, just leave the country, or do not tell anybody you're pregnant, or don't go to the I don't know. I don't even have a good advice at this point. A lot of women are actually saying this is the best time to get IUD, this is the best time to do this, to do that. This is the best time to actually get pew around, because you never can tell what's going to happen next. A lot of advice. What is your own advice? If you are in the United States, what is the best advice you would give women nowadays, now? Because this is a current matter. And yeah, it is what it is. Things have happened and we just have to move on. But then know the right step to take to be safe. What is your take on this video? Share your thoughts down in the comment section. Share advice in the comment section. I decided to share this all with you all today. And thank you so much for tuning in. And yeah, check out Mariah Davis, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.